Wasteland. Come to my fire.
What's going on, Metalheads? Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson, and I am your host. Jason Gardner from the Heavy Metal Wasteland is here in this pre-Thanksgiving episode of the Metal Forge with 7 Kingdoms.
Yep.
Dude, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. I'll get into what happened to me yesterday here in a little while when we get into the conversation. But yeah, other than that, I've been pretty good working. Christmas shopping has begun. Doing some insurance, car insurance swapping also, which is always fun.
Did you all get hit with
a few bucks? Yeah.
Did you all get hit with a major rate hike in the insurance up there?
So the guy that we elected governor was actually a anti-insurance dude. So I think we're gonna be good. Like he shut them down when they were trying to raise rates for no reason. So I think we're okay. But
well, that's
as always, everything always eventually goes up. So, but right now
sure.
I think we're all right.
Sure. So, Jason, I have a surprise today for you. We have a couple of guests sitting in the wings here waiting. We have first fellow Flamekeeper, Mr. Aaron Ossont, coming into the chat.
The star of the show here. Hell yeah.
Oh, look who it is. It is Aaron Ossont.
Hi, everybody.
Ossont&battery.
Yeah.
Or Aaron. I always say it Aaron Ossont like I say the show name, but it's Ossont, right?
It's Austin, yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't really give a crap. I mean,
mine is still just Jackass. So
can I compliment Aaron real quick on his background is always changing. Like you can always look in the back and just see what's going on when he's on.
I love that. You know, I mean, he's got the static posters on the wall, the tapestries actually.
Yeah.
And which is totally cool because I saw that More the Light one in Chicago and I wanted to get it, but I didn't have the extra cash because I'd spent so much, and it's like, fuck, I need to buy that because I want it for the ceiling here in the Metal Forge.
Fucking merch tables will get
More
you.
the Light tapestries.
Yes, absolutely.
I have another one. Hold on, I'll tell you guys.
Uh-oh, we're getting a special treat here. And
Fucking merch tables will get you every time, man. I tell you.
my gosh. Yes.
And I still have a Headless Cross poster to put up.
Man.
And I got a bunch of flyers from Dwayne Eldridge. He gave me some stuff, so
Nice.
Dude, Dwayne's such a sweetheart. He's
the man.
He really is. But we also have another guest from Ice Howl. Mr. Jason Roach is here.
yeah.
Dude, what is up?
Hello, Metal Forge.
And we
Welcome.
are going to talk about, first off, like I said, Camden Cruz from 7 Kingdoms is here today. We're going to be checking in with him in a minute. But, okay, I love Thanksgiving, and it's always fun because it's a food holiday, right? Because, hey,
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
but I always like the deal of finding out everybody else's Thanksgiving traditions. Do you do Thanksgiving traditions, guys?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. I guess it's probably more a tradition with the food and what food I eat, you know?
Hell yeah.
So,
What
how
about
about
you?
you guys? You guys got
I
anything?
agree.
I'm watching football, I guess.
Yeah, I only eat gravy on turkey like one time a year, and it's Thanksgiving. You know, it's like
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't think you'd be putting gravy on any turkey sandwiches like through the year or anything like regular like sliced lunch meat.
there's a barbecue place not too far from me that actually has a Thanksgiving Day sandwich, which they put all the Thanksgiving stuff on the sandwich and it's year round. Yeah.
Ooh, that's
Even
good.
cranberry sauce, which I detest.
What?
Very, very hard.
Whoa,
I hate
whoa,
it. Dude,
whoa,
I fucking hate cranberry sauce.
Hey,
I'm not afraid to say
Jason,
it.
both Jasons here are on the same page because I'm not a big fan of it either.
Yeah, that shit
Now
sucks.
is it
Yeah, but there's-
like regular cranberry sauce like with the berries that in there, or is it like jellied cranberry sauce?
No, I don't like cranberries, period. Like, their stupid upside-down can and all that shit. Like, you can fucking have that shit. I don't want any part of it. But it's on my table. But it's on my table every year
As
because
a
my wife
New
eats
Englander,
it.
I'm feeling personally attacked here.
Yeah, me too. I don't have to have it, but when I do have it, I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Dude, I make it homemade every year. I make it with a little bit of cinnamon, a raspberry lambic beer, reduce it down, man. Some sugar.
Now I can respect that because you don't do just the can.
Right.
But like for me personally, like I like cranberries, but I guess the cranberry sauce was never something that my family did for Thanksgiving. So
Dude, you take a good cranberry sauce and you put it just like on the turkey sandwich with the turkey, and oh my gosh, it's almost like another layer, another level of good.
Now Mark knows better than anyone here, but the thing that I cherish the most about Thanksgiving is the pumpkin pie.
Oh,
Yes, he is a pumpkin spice fanatic.
Yeah, I am.
yeah, I can relate to that.
I mean, there's just nothing better than just a good pumpkin pie. You know, just throw some whipped cream on top of that and just go to town, man.
So how do you do
I
your
don't
whipped
even
cream?
need it with whipped cream.
Do you do like a dollop, or do you like encase it, like where there's no pumpkin pie
Just
to be
a
found?
nice solid dollop.
Okay, dollop.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I agree.
Down here
Yeah.
they have pumpkin spice oil changes. If you're interested in ever getting one.
Wait, what? Did you say pumpkin spice oil change?
Yeah. There's a Valvoline place in town that does a pumpkin spice oil change. Yeah.
It's
I-
a pumpkin
I-
spice air freshener.
I crack up at it every
Hold on.
time.
You can't drop that news on me and not elaborate further.
It's just a dumb way to get white girls to change their oil.
Or me.
Or
me.
Or
Yeah.
Jason, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
next time I go by there, if the sign's still up, I'll take a picture and send it to you.
Okay. I'm genuinely curious now.
Yeah, the
all
pumpkin
right,
spice oil change.
worst thing that's ever happened on Thanksgiving.
Oh, someone burned a turkey.
Oh, that
Like
sucks.
overcooked it, where it's just like eating like some like thick sand, you know?
Like Christmas vacation turkey.
Yeah. It's not one I've ever made because I inject mine to fucking so that it fails the NFL drug test when I do my turkey. But yeah, like
It needs to be tested by USADA.
I have been places where like the turkey comes out and like you cut into it, like you can just tell that it's just dry as a desert, you know. So yeah, burning
And
the
that's
turkey
when
is a
you
big one.
that's when you mix it with the cranberry sauce, and it makes it okay.
Okay, that's when you just pour so much gravy on it that you just it's moist, but not a good.
rehydrate it.
Yeah, you revive it. Yeah,
You go from turkey jerky to almost.
yeah, it's edible.
What about
Yeah.
you, Aaron? What's the worst thing that's happened on Thanksgiving?
I can't really think of anything specific. I guess maybe one time my mom wasn't there to cook dinner, so I think she was working or something, or up visiting my grandma. And my brother started microwaving the turkey because he thought it would defrost it quicker because it wasn't defrosted all the way. So he started microwaving it.
But how big is your
luckily we were
microwave to
able
put a
salvage
turkey in there?
it. What's that?
How big is your microwave that you can fit a turkey in there? That's amazing,
I think he like crammed it in there or something.
dude.
Randy
Ironically,
Savage elbow drop.
Yeah,
back.
that is quite the
Man.
microwave, I have to say.
ironically, he's actually a chef now. So
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Do you ever go to his restaurant and be like, "You remember that time you?"
well, he does.
microwave the turkey.
He's a chef at like a banquet place. Brett does like bar mitzvahs and weddings and stuff. So
Oh, cool. Hell yeah, man, that's awesome. What about you, Jason?
I don't really have.
You're gonna give me a Gremlin style story here.
Unfortunately, I mean, I wish I could have a better thing to say, but like, I have one that I can't tell because it doesn't involve me, and I will probably die tonight if I tell it. But the other thing, I don't really have anything in particular, other than, I guess, when we stopped really having Thanksgiving. So, but it can always come back.
Sure.
Y'all still there? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, it's got really, really quiet there.
No, we were listening. Normally we're all talking over each other. We were totally listening. Okay. So for me, when I was a kid, I remember going to my aunt's house and fucking, they would always have like, in the basement, the kids would be playing in the basement usually. And, on one side of the room, there was like a partition, and Jason's gone.
I'm here. I'm here.
And they would set up a card table in that room, right? And you'd always get in trouble, like, get out of there, you're not supposed to be in here, blah, 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 go play with the other kids and shit. And it's like, I remember falling down the steps one year. And it's like, that sucked ass.
Yeah.
Did you hurt yourself?
Well, I mean, yeah, I fell down the fucking steps. It's like
Like a
I didn't
busted
break
lip, or-
anything. Yeah, I think so. I didn't break anything, knock on wood, I've never broken any bones, but other than my nose, but that's
Not fun. Not fun at all.
No, but that's what I hear. It's not fun. Okay, so if we did the worst thing that's happened on Thanksgiving, like with the new age deals of things, do you all do that, or do you just make like traditional turkey? Do you deep fry it? Do you smoke it? Jason, when you do, Jason Roach, whenever you do cook anything for Thanksgiving, what do you all do?
Okay. There for a while, we were actually tasked with making the turkey because we would make it so well. So our thing we would do is we would take your turkey as usual, and we would cover it with bacon.
Ooh.
Yeah, use toothpick bacon all over it, and then all that bacon grease soaks into the turkey, and then you just baste it about every 5 to 10 minutes until it's done.
A nice bacon bourbon glazed turkey. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. I mean, not to toot our own horn here, but like, yeah, we cook a mean turkey.
I like how you welcome pork into the holiday also. That's usually something you don't really hear about unless you cook ham. But
well, my family usually does both.
Oh, really?
Because when we did family Thanksgiving, we would always have, we would go to my aunt's house, and there would be my cousins and other relatives that came by, other aunts and uncles, like my mom and her sisters. Their aunts and uncles would come by and stuff like that. So we always would have a big turkey and a big ham. So yeah, we
only have one oven, so it's turkey for us. Ham and it's Christmas.
Something for everyone.
Yeah, and then the ham bone and pinto beans day after Christmas. Is the way it goes. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one. Aaron, what about you? What about your?
I usually just roast it in the oven, but this year I'm gonna actually be smoking a turkey. So I plan on injecting it with some nice injectable butter, and then just throw that bad boy on the smoker for a while.
Yeah.
Hell
I think
yeah!
I'm gonna go with cherry wood, I believe.
Nice.
Oh, see, cherrywood fucking smoked turkey, dude. I'm gonna have to make it up there just to fucking have fucking turkey with Aaron.
You can tell Aaron. You can tell Aaron's from up north, because if he lived down here, he'd be like, yeah, I'll just find me a nice pallet and smoke it.
Yeah, no shit. Fucking pine.
Some rusty nails in there. Yeah, good stuff.
Heat treated.
Yeah, they treated. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yes. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
We'll just.
So yeah, I mean, I just basically do a regular turkey, That's my thing. I don't smoke the turkey. Jason, what do you?
We just bake. We bake on low all night. Like I actually have to set an alarm to get up to turn the oven back on, because we set it at like 270, and then we just like cook for like 8 to 10 hours.
Low and slow, baby.
Yeah, and then like the last hour I bump up to like 400 just to make sure it's good to go.
Just crispy, get that crispy skin.
Yeah, you take the juices and redistribute them over top and cover it up again. Yeah, throw it on there. So yeah.
So, yeah, I'm really meticulous about that. I do it, like I said, about every 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't do it that many.
And it cooks it faster too.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, B-sides. Is what this would be in the Metal Forge cookbook. Would be your B-sides. Your what are you having for your sides?
Potatoes.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Which
Yeah.
any kind of, as long as potatoes are on the menu, you're cool with it.
Usually a mashed potato, or
See, I'm in the minority.
or some butter, or some cube buttered potatoes.
Yes, with where they're mixed up just enough to where there's almost like a, they're almost coated in themselves.
Yes.
Like the starch kind of gives off into the butter.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My favorite type of potatoes are buttered potatoes for that reason.
Yeah. It's hard to go wrong with that. So.
All right. So we got potatoes from two of the four of us. What about you all? Aaron,
I love mashed potatoes. I like sweet potatoes as well. I gotta have sweet potato casserole. Sometimes I like to switch up what I do on top. Sometimes I'll go marshmallows. Sometimes I'll go candy pecan. One time we even did it was fried shallots we put on top of it.
Whoa.
And that was actually pretty good.
I didn't know because I do know like the Ritz crackers make an appearance on there too sometimes.
Really? I've never tried that. I'll have to try that sometime.
Yeah. Just like you would your broccoli casserole.
Yeah.
Fucking do the same thing with like the Ritz crackers and put those on top, and then use like a good like a honey glaze on the top there with the sweet potatoes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
How do we feel about green bean casserole? Okay.
Go ahead, haters. Go ahead, haters.
I can
Is it a dying art?
I prefer regular green beans personally.
But
Like
is
shelled cut green beans as opposed to the long string beans and the green bean casserole.
Is the green bean casserole dying? I just feel like that it's not something that you see hardly anymore.
Well, I
My
also
family
think.
always had.
Go ahead.
I can even get pretty deep with the green bean casserole. It was actually invented by a contest, I believe, with I think Campbell. And the name of the lady, I forgot her last name. I believe her first name is very memorable. It was Dorcas. Dorcas, I think O'Reilly it might have been, or something like that. I might have been the inventor of the green bean casserole.
I feel like I've heard of this.
Okay.
So, but my family always has it. So I personally don't like green bean, but I can't really speak on my liking of the casserole because I just don't like them in general. So my brother loves it, and the rest of my family loves it. So they're popular in my house, except for myself.
Okay.
Sure.
Are you really not a casserole lover, Aaron?
No, I love casserole.
Oh, okay. About to say that sounds.
Yeah,
kinda strange.
in general, just not green beans. It's because the green bean.
Like we're all pretty
Dude.
honky here. Casserole's kind of in our DNA, you know. It's like,
Hey, you make a great like Mexican casserole with cornbread on top. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh
I don't know
yeah.
about any casserole, to be honest with you. I eat that shit every night if I could, but I would get stabbed.
I don't know if I could take tuna casserole or anything.
If you do it right, it's good. Yeah, I don't mind tuna casserole once or twice a year.
What's this? Okay, some more sides. I do a 5-cheese baked macaroni sheet.
Mm.
You know,
That sounds
and
delicious.
yeah, and it's got like you know, like seasoned salt and, you know, a lot of actual like crushed black pepper in there. Like a pinch of taco seasoning gives it a little bit of a zing. And
Taco.
There you go.
Mark?
Not the orange cat.
Oh, okay. Wondering.
But I will try the Dano's orange cap when I get it this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
But
good.
yeah, I usually have like a big sheet of it, you know, like make it in like the 13x9 pan where you can bake it in there and get that nice bubbly top and then the Parmesan on top of that and crust it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having a nice crust is definitely key, I believe.
Oh, sure.
Big
Crust
mac and
punk
cheese
macaroni.
fan.
Yeah, it's like the crust punk mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Do you use evaporated milk in yours?
No.
You should.
Actually, I
Yeah,
use half and half.
Oh, really? The
When I
evaporated
make
milk's
the
got a little
cheese
bit
sauce,
sweeter.
I use half and half. And,
Okay.
yeah. What's the weirdest side you've ever had at Thanksgiving?
I don't know, man. Every time I've gone to Thanksgiving at somebody else's house, it's been pretty traditional stuff. I mean, it's basically the turkey and like the big
I think-
five. You know?
I think
So,
rouladen was for me.
yeah.
My ex stepmother is the only person I know that can fuck up stovetop stuffing.
Isn't
Wait
it
a
you
minute,
boil water
it-
and you just stir it in, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And butter. Water and butter.
And if you get really fancy, you use like chicken stock.
yeah.
Yeah, I do that. I do
Ooh,
half
wow.
and half. Chicken stock and water.
Wow. Stovetop,
Bad side, I'm
burnt
trying to
nasty. Do you like stuffing?
Me?
Yeah. Are we
I love
are we in
stuffing.
favor of
I
stuffing?
do.
I like it with all different types, but my mom usually makes it with like mushrooms and sausage in her.
Oh, interesting.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I just go plain stuffing, nothing else. Just
I'm
cornbread.
traditional with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the bread stuffing.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just breadcrumbs. So for me, that's it. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
here in New England, some people do that oyster stuffing. I'm not a fan of that.
That sounds
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either.
Mhm.
So before we go, we've got the last one here, which is desserts. Obviously, we've already mentioned pumpkin pie. I've already bought one and eaten one for the season.
Yes.
I couldn't even wait. I couldn't even wait until Thanksgiving. Because I'm a man of a certain age, and I said, you know what, motherfuck this. I want pumpkin fucking pie.
Dude, let me ask you. Like, you live by yourself. Did you just start in the fucking middle of it and eat?
Actually,
Because
no.
dude, when I was single,
okay.
that's how I rolled. Right in the
Okay,
middle.
so here's how it goes. It's the smaller one, okay? It's like the regular one. It's
8-inch or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I immediately, Jason, what do you look like you're really close to the screen here.
Yeah, we're
I
right.
am.
Jason's judging me. I immediately cut it in half and took half of the pie and started eating it from the middle of that half. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yes. But it was store bought, so it had the extra crunchy pie crust
Mhm.
on the edge, and I love that when the
too.
pie crust around the edge is crunchy and not like
Oh yeah.
because it's almost like an extra. It's like a treat in itself of getting to actually have the pumpkin pie and the crunchy crust.
Yeah. We buy apple, pumpkin, and sweet potato. And sometimes pecan if I have to get week before.
Okay, so
So we go for like 4 of them and ice cream.
okay, maybe I'm the weirdo here.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell a difference
Between
sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie.
what?
To me, they taste the same.
Nah.
No.
I have to be in
They're texturally a little bit different, but to me, I think they taste the same. Maybe I'm that weird guy that has like the cilantro taste like soap shit.
Maybe.
You know?
Let's go with that. I'll give you a pass on that one.
Basically, what Mark's trying to say is they're the same in appearance, but sweet potato pie is the Timu pumpkin pie. Is what he's trying to say.
Could be,
Yeah.
but I mean, I
The
don't
waste
hate
version.
either one of them. But I'll
Exactly.
tell you now, pecan pie is way too rich for me.
Same
Like,
here.
I'd have to eat it with ice cream.
Dude,
But
I
I like a
kind of-
nice pumpkin roll too.
yeah.
Ooh.
I used to be
with,
a
like,
big I used
buttercream.
to be a big pecan pie fan, like huge pecan pie. Do you remember when Lance had in the vending machines they had those little
Yes.
pecan pies? Dude, I got sick on one of those and I've lost my desire for eating a piece of pecan pie ever again. Like I'll never do it again. Yeah, I just can't.
I'm getting sick of them. Pecan pie out of a vending machine. I guess it was old.
Dude, I was like 20 years old, man. Like I had like an iron gut, dude. It would dissolve anything, except for that pecan
Dude,
pie.
that's the
Apparently.
name of your next band.
Iron gut.
Iron Gut.
Iron gut.
Iron gut.
Fuck yeah, man.
Well, segue real quick in the iron.
Yes.
So I just wanted to tell you guys that, and this ties into the band that we're about to announce who is on the show today. I went to Iron Maiden last night in Charlotte, and I'm on my Iron Maiden bang over here. And I will say, man, like the band still really sounds really fucking good, but unfortunately, Nico's stroke is starting to come through because there was some stuff I was like, oh man, the trooper sounded like Lars was playing it. Like if he just came up and like guest played, it was really choppy. So like the cracks are starting to show. But if you get to see the Future Past tour, still I would highly recommend it. And I have a preview of the unsleeves I'm about to do because I spent like $125 in merch last night for this company to have some content.
Yeah, baby.
But I will show this for a preview and say no more. That's it. This is credit card quality stuff right here. But you have to watch the unsleeve to see what it is. But
Nice.
yeah. But I
Did
saw.
you get the Flamekeeper pass at the show, and did you get to go back and meet Nico and everything? 'Cause-
Yeah, I just wore my Flamekeeper, my Metal Forge shirt, and they were just like, "Come on back."
Sure, yeah, I
Yeah,
knew that. Was,
open the velvet
yeah,
ropes.
see?
I just went on back. Yeah. But no, seriously, I saw a 3 Seven Sisters shirt at the show last night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not even exaggerating, 3. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and one Night Demon shirt, which I thought was pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
No Temptations wing shirts or Ice Howl shirts, unfortunately. Guess I should have worn mine, but I had to wear my uniform. Had to wear the Maiden shirt, because that's what you do when you go to Maiden. And the set list was
Should
cool.
wear your Metal Forge shirt.
I wear that after I play shows while I'm all sweaty. I change into that. But
Sure.
yeah, if you like the rare Maiden stuff, like all these songs except for like a few were pretty much like B-sides. It was all Somewhere in Time and Senjutsu with a few others thrown in. And shout out to Bruce for dressing up like Paul Di'Anno during playing Iron Maiden. I thought that shit was really fucking cool, and he didn't have to say anything.
Oh, cool.
I knew what it was. It was like the black leather jacket, the same style. Yeah, he even kind of like posed like him and stuff from the videos. So yeah, horns up for that, man. That was really fucking cool. And quote of the year from Bruce Dickinson: "A DeLorean is not a fucking toaster." So there you go.
Wow.
It was from.
That is true.
Well, for some reason, he got on the Back to the Future rant last night because they played songs off Somewhere in Time and Senjutsu, which are all like some are future based, and like it was like a 5-minute rant just about Back to the Future and DeLoreans, how they're not fucking toasters, stuff like that.
Wow.
So, very and also Bruce, thanks for keeping it real and calling out all the people who were unfortunate enough to get the shitty seats. I was in those seats, so yeah, by choice though, because I did the old man thing. I sat in the back so I could see the whole stage. So this was indoor.
Yeah, that was the mistake I made the first time I saw Maiden. Is I got super close and was on the left-hand side of the stage and couldn't see anybody but like Dave Murray and Bruce when he would come up to the very top of the stage shape. I only saw Nico through the fucking
camera.
Through the camera.
That's the only time you can ever see him, dude. He's so in the pocket back there. But yeah, his stroke was His stroke was kind of like, you could tell the effects of it toward the end last night. The Trooper and Wasted Years were both kind of not great. Like the band carried it through, but if you know that song as well as I do, because I've listened to it like 5 million times, I actually think it's one of the only songs that are like perfect. Every note, every vocal, every word, every drum hit. Like I think that's one of those perfect songs that has ever been written. And the drums were like, oh man, I was like, man, this is not great, because I was like really into it, and then I started just noticing, and I was like, oh man. And he did say there were some staples that he was having trouble with. Yeah, I think that was definitely one of them. He didn't say which ones, but after he played last night, that was definitely one of them. It's a Trooper. Yeah. But I mean, it was still awesome. Yeah. They did 70. I can't say anything.
I mean, and that's what's happened. That's what's gonna happen when you got bands in their 50s, 60s, and 70s now.
Yeah. Pretty much the only songs I heard before was "Prisoner" and "Fear of the Dark," Iron Maiden, of course, "Trooper," "Wasted Years." Everything else was like like a live debut to me, man. It was, Alexander the Great, "Stranger in a Strange Land," Caught Somewhere in Time, Jump Off Senjutsu, which I'm not crazy about. I've never heard of them, stuff like that. So yeah, I think they played Heaven Can Wait, and yeah, all the other ones were brand new to me, so that was cool. It was a very B-side heavy show, which I appreciate.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's something that I think every band needs to do that's in that legacy status like that, is, make it make it interesting for the older fans still.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that you're not fucking pricing out of the market.
Yeah, they weren't too bad. Like I said, mine, for my nosebleeds, it was about $60 plus fees, so it was about like $85, $90.
Yeah. And when the first time that I saw him, I was super close and was, it was $100. And then the last time I saw him back in 2019, I think I paid $26 for the ticket, and it was a lawn seat.
Yeah.
So, and it was day of.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Ozzy and Chris from Children of Reptile. We actually ran into them after the show.
Hell yeah.
It was by choice.
Man.
Choice,
I tagged you in his post.
I saw it. Yeah, it was totally by chance. Like I was buying a piece of merch that I will show on Unsleeved, and they just happened to like walk by. So yeah, it's cool running into them.
Hell yeah, man. So hell yeah, dudes! Thank you all for coming to the Metal Forge this week. We're gonna go ahead and get to the interview with Camden from Seven Kingdoms. I am going to play something off of their new EP that is just now coming out. This is The Square. Yeah.
Are we tied? Threads I don't understand. Our past alive. Did we not get it right? Your love for me now feels like pain.
All right, metalheads, we are being joined this week with Camden Cruz from the band Seven Kingdoms. Dude, Camden, how are you, man?
I'm good. Thank you very much for having us. And yeah, stoked to chit chat for a little bit.
Yeah. It has been okay. This I'm gonna let everybody out of the bag because this is like a while back in recording for the time this is gonna release. So I just had a killer night seeing Night Demon, Overkill, and King Diamond on the St. Lucifer's Hospital tour last night. And wow, man, what an amazing show. But you're actually on tour as we speak, but not as a band. That comes later.
Mhm.
But right now you're just on the road with a couple of bands right now. So how's that going for you?
It's going great. I'm out here in Europe representing Windrose. I'm on the management team of Hard Impact Music, and I'm over here with them, and they're the openers for the Powerwolf Arena Tour out here. So it's been
Boom.
pretty wild. It's been really nuts. So they're doing a really good job. They're turning a whole lot of heads, and it was the right move for the boys, and can't wait to see where they propel themselves further from here.
Speaking of right moves, okay, we're going to talk about Seven Kingdoms here for a minute. Now, you all are based out of DeLand, Florida, which I've always liked. I listen to Bob and Tom, and I hear this stupid joke all the time: "Is where is DeLand, Florida? It's
Yeah.
next to DC." Uh, Jesus. Now, just out of like I consult metal archives usually on the day of an interview,
Mhm.
and I was glad to notice that what I had said when I beaconed in and said, you know what, this band reminds me of kind of like if Dragon Force and Nightwish had a baby.
I haven't
And
heard
I
that one
say
yet,
that
but I'll
because
take
you've
it.
got the thrashiness, you've got the
Yeah.
thrash metal involved there, but then you've got like the power metal involved as well. So a power thrash band is what I'm calling you
Mhm.
guys, or you
Yeah,
you
yeah,
all.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
is that what you would consider Seven Kingdoms?
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of I think the longer that we go into our career, the more we just generally settle on power metal as a just a blanket. I mean,
Sure,
there's so many little subgenres, and I mean, especially with the new music. I mean, the EP, an EP is a wide. We only get 4 songs to give you a sample with. It's more like an appetizer before the album comes out, kind of thing.
right.
So, there's a lot of. I mean, there's some not power thrash on the EP, as I'm sure you've heard. So, like, it's just we kind of just fall in this blanket of power metal. We're trying to kind of put the American power metal in the front of that just to kind of give us a sound that is a little less European. I think the next albums will be a little more aggressive, maybe, but with
Okay.
still the hooks and stuff like that, and of course power metal elements. Um, but we're really trying to hone in on what makes us this side of the pond power metal. You know what I mean? Versus a
Sure.
traditional European power metal band.
Well, and the interesting
So.
thing about it is I can hear like the differences in tone quality with
mm,
with with what you're talking about making it more aggressive. Like, because there's some things that I heard, and it might be just because it's fresh in my mind, because I can hear some Merciful Fate King Diamond-esque tone quality in the
mhm.
music, but then again I also hear things like I can hear Avenged Sevenfold's tone
Yeah,
quality,
yeah.
just and it might just be like those certain notes that are played together that's like, oh
Hmm.
wow, I could see this band doing that. And what's so cool about it is that you're on a level right now where you're gaining a lot of popularity, you're doing a lot, you're getting ready to do a couple of really cool tours, one of which
Mm.
is your North American tour with Stryker and Lutharo,
Mm.
correct? and
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. We're stoked
and
with
the
that.
other one is going to be with in Europe with Unleash the Archers and Stryker.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, we're
Wow.
really stoked for both of those. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because when we first started, we were like, like, oh, it's gonna take like a couple really big tours to, make it and da 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 da. And the reality is as awesome as these two tours are, like we need a dozen of them. You know what I
Sure.
mean? That are that good or much better. You know what I mean? The success is not really given to you in one amazing tour. You know what I mean?
No.
It helps, but like, I'm stoked for these tours, but I'm also looking like what else is in 25, what else is in 26, and then what are we doing in 27 is how far we're looking forward now, at least. Because
Well,
it takes so long to line those up that, you have to start working on them now.
oh yes, absolutely. And that's one of the things that, being a promoter on my end and in the management end of things, how hard it can be to nail someone down a year in advance. It's like
Oh
we're
yeah.
not booking for that yet. And it's like you kind of need to start booking for it because,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden you're going to be held in the dirt because, you've got all these other tours and then it's like you miss out almost,
Yeah. I mean, you have to
especially from a
early bird.
booking aspect.
Yeah, early bird definitely gets the worm, and the idea of having the proper representation with the industry professionals that book these tours is really important to have that kind of person in front of the band that has a relationship with everybody that is pushing you in advance, well in advance, so that way you get the shot to, do what you need to do, and you're not doing it last minute.
Definitely. Definitely. So, speaking of the new EP called The Square from Raining Phoenix Music, I love this cover art because it has this total Book of the Dead feel to it.
Hmm.
I'm a Mummy fan from way back,
Right on.
even with Karloff. Not necessarily this new Tom Cruise thing, but it totally has like the picture of like where you would use the key in the original Mummy. I love it. It has this book-esque quality to it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we so the Sabrina kind of came up with the idea to use some kind of Egyptian elements.
Sure.
And there's a couple things. She's actually when we're not on tour, we are well, she is a astrologist, and she does tarot readings professionally, actually. So
Interesting.
that's what she does. I mean, for a living, I guess, for part of her living. You know what I mean?
Hell
She
yeah.
really enjoys it. She helps out a lot of people that can't find. She helps out a lot of people with just dealing with stuff in their life, or looking for answers to things, or a guidance to things that they necessarily can't find in traditional sources. Um, she's really good at reading planetary charts and star charts and stuff like that. So she spent a lot of time learning the stuff, and I mean, she's turned me
Now,
into a believer. So
is
she's kind
she
of sprinkled
one?
all that.
Is she one that watches movies and says that's not the right sky for that moment in time? Like on like
Yeah, not necessarily. She's really into like she
like
can
I saw
find
Neil deGrasse Tyson do that. It's like, oh yeah,
yeah,
the sky when the Titanic crashed, that wasn't the sky. That was a modern sky. It's like, what?
yeah. I mean, she knows. I mean, she knows that, but she's mostly like, I guess the only way to describe it is like when you're born, um, the time and date that you're born, that exact moment is essentially like a universal fingerprint. So at that point in time, different planets are in very specific areas. And,
Sure.
we believe we are stardust. You know what I mean? We are created out of thin air. You know what I mean? And essentially, with that data, she can read where everything was at a specific time, and kind of give you guidance about, like, for instance, me, like she'll tell me, like, if I'm having a bad day, she's like, oh yeah, like just be careful with, take everything with a grain of salt that you take today. And she'll tell me this in the morning, and it's like, oh, the day's been fine. And then you know what? By the end of the day, like, chances are, like, I've had to use that little bit of advice to just like chill for a second and not react to a situation that may have happened on the road or working or something like that. But she has this, she can see the foresight and different aspects of your life, just
Wow.
by looking at the planets. I mean, it's crazy. Like I don't know it. I mean, it's not crazy, but it's just like she studied it. There's a big world.
It's interesting to you because you're quote an outsider and you don't have
Yeah, I mean,
necessarily the knowledge as opposed to being quote crazy. Yeah, I get exactly what you mean.
yeah,
I recently
she's
had Deb from Lady Beast on the Metal Forge, and she does tarot readings as well. And I, you know, didn't know that people still do this over Zoom and FaceTime
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
and have readings. And I was like, dude, we've got to do this eventually.
yeah,
And she was like, oh, absolutely.
yeah. I
Because
mean, the
I've
tarot
never had
stuff
my
with
cards read.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the tarot stuff is a little more. I mean, I don't even know how to use the right word. The tarot stuff is not quite as personal sometimes as
Sure.
the astrology charts. And I
Sure.
think out of everything that she's done with that side of her life, the astrology charts kind of make me like the most like interested, I guess, because like, you know, it's like I'm a big believer in the, you know, the universe and all this bullshit, but like the positioning of the planets and like, you know, like if the moon can change the tide, you know what I mean?
Sure.
There's no reason why that doesn't affect us in some way. You know what I mean? And I
Oh,
mean, she's done
absolutely.
like, and over the years, like she's called out things like something's going to happen today. Not sure what, but something's going to happen, and it's probably going to be something to deal with this. And then all of a sudden, like, boom, like, holy shit. Like, she didn't like, you know, pinpoint the person, place, or thing, but it was like something doesn't, you know, something is suggesting that, you know, there's turmoil going to be somewhere, you know, foreign. And then boom, you know, like something happens like
Wow.
that day that she called it, and it's just like, oh wow, you know what I mean?
That's
So it's
interesting.
just like, no, I mean, she's done that enough to where it's just like, you know, like if her spider sense starts going off, like I'm listening, you know what I mean? And I'm
Sure.
taking that
Absolutely.
like to heart essentially.
And I
So
think
it's
And I think having someone in the band that way that, once you do build some kind of bond with somebody, it is, it is one of those things that you kind of listen to. Because even still, there's there's people that I know that may not necessarily be into like astrology and tarot and things like that, but are
mhm.
severely in tune with whatever's going on.
Oh
And
yeah,
they
I've seen her turn non-believers into like they'll just start like, hey, uh can you read my chart real quick? Like, you know what I mean? They start coming like at random. It's just like, yeah, she's that way. So like
That's
she's got a
awesome.
talent for it.
So the new EP is a follow-up from the 2022 album Zenith.
Mm.
Now, when it comes to writing and recording albums and such, obviously there is meticulousness that has to go in for being the power thrash and being so tight knit as a band you are. So, aside from all of the, I don't, I'm not really one to subscribe to, oh, playing to backing tracks or whatever. I think if it enhances the show, enhance the show as much as you possibly can. Whether it's
Yeah.
stage presence, whether it is adding a keyboard part and a backing track, and
Hmm.
playing to a click, that just lets you know if you're not on the keyboard part at the right time, you screwed the set, you screwed that song up. But no,
Yeah.
for example, when it comes to writing and recording and actually going out and putting foot to pavement and fingers to strings and sticks to heads when it comes down to it, what is the ultimate goal that you want to see happen, or what is the ultimate thing you like to see in the crowd, I should say?
I mean, so I mean, we're here to just have a good time. I mean, we obviously want to make a living. This is a business, you know what I mean? We make music that we enjoy first, but that we also believe we can grow with, and you know, we're constantly trying to get bigger, you know what I mean? And
Sure.
our tastes have changed over time. You know, so that's reflected in all of the music from our first record, I'm sure, when we were out of high school. But you know, as far as like live, like we especially being an American power metal band, for instance, like live, like we do use tracks. We play to a click. We have stuff that we can't recreate live or bring the human body to do it yet. So, for instance, like we don't have a bassist. We had
Okay,
bad luck
so
with
yeah, so
bassists,
you're
and
playing
then yeah.
with an
So essentially,
with a
kept
demon
yeah
bass player.
yeah, yeah, basically. So like, I mean, Powerwolf does it, and look, they're in the arena. So like, I just at this point in time, I honestly don't even care. People are gonna hate it or love it or not care. I don't give a shit.
This breaks my heart. I'm a bass player.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's just we've had terrible luck with bassists for one reason or another, and essentially, we're still touring in a small van or a sprinter, so not having and our music is not like if you were to take the bass, you know what I mean, for especially like the stuff that Kevin and I recorded for the EP, it's not
Mhm.
it's not a feature in the music. It's there
Sure, it's
to
not bass
essentially
driven.
yeah, it's essentially to give the kick drum a tone and a note. You know what I mean? So essentially, and that's how Powerwolf uses it. And I've had a lot of conversations about that with them. So and in our format right now, in reality, we can fit 6 people in the van with the bunks. So we have 4 in the band, we have a front of house, we have a merch guy. So it's just like we need
Hell
those
yeah.
other people in the crew. Can't fit another body. You know what I mean? If you had a bassist, like it wouldn't work with our
Sure.
traveling arrangements, essentially. And honestly, it's just it's something we do in house now. Kevin and I are just doing it, and it's worked so well that we're just going to continue this way probably forever. And use that extra space for a light guy or a content guy or something that really
Yeah.
is
Or more
adding
merch
to
even.
yeah, or it's adding to our brand and our touring ability. We've been doing a lot of keyboard like sounds and stuff, and so
Okay.
like obviously I'm not going to carry I'm not going to carry a keyboardist for half of a song. You know what I mean? And all the bands are using keyboards now. When we go in the studio, we record very choir style vocals that essentially cannot be recreated. Like, even if Kevin and I and even if like Keith or whatever were had the Britney Spears mics, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And even if 3 of us were singing in harmony and everything, it's not going to sound the same as what we've spent time and money recording in the
Right.
studio with like 12 people. You know what I mean? So like we pipe those choirs in because we want that feature. We want it to sound like there's a choir of people there. You know what I mean? And so like we some of that. Sabrina likes having her own harmonies piped in, so so it sounds like a recreation of the album.
Sure.
I know personally as a music fan too, like I've enjoyed watching bands tracked, and I actually miss some bands that are like kind of a little more elitist, like, oh, we will never use a track or a click or whatever. And you miss these little things, you know what I mean, that you find in the music, and you miss it live for the sake of what, you know what I mean, because you're too
Exactly.
cool, you know what I mean. And so it's
Well,
just it's not and also now too with the modern guitar rigs, like Kevin and I are running through one Axe effects. So like when you're on the recording program, like it goes to the click, and now the computer is doing our foot switch changes. So like there's less to do on stage. Like,
sure.
you know, when we go and Kevin goes into a solo, like it just automatically turns on. We're not running across the stage trying to like click the button. You know what I mean?
And see,
It's
that
really
tech
nice.
is so awesome. And I watched a video from a few years ago, just here recently, and it was talking about Kirk Hammett. And
Mm.
of course, he has like 9 wall drops on stage,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
But if he,
But that's
but
it.
the, but well, yeah, and that's it. But the crazy
Yeah,
thing about it is like they're all wired together to where if
yeah,
he leaves one on, they have a manual cutoff switch for it
yeah,
under the stage, and they
yeah,
can actually cut them off. And okay, so he's ran from, like you said, running from side to side and
yeah,
trying to hit pedals. They have that technology to where he can be over here, run across the other side, and if he left that wall on, as soon as he engages the other one, it cuts off.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean
That is
that's a
cool as
little
shit.
yeah. That's a little bit different. Wah pedals or they're more like expression pedals rather than like patch changes. So I mean, a bench essentially, if you go to a show, King Diamond, for example, I mean, I would assume that there's no pedals on the front of the stage. I don't think that the
Not at
guitar
all.
players are, yeah, it's a clean
However,
stage for the
I
look.
will say this, out of everything clean that they played, they did do the only change was they did have the acoustic stand up there.
Oh yeah. But
So
even
that was
still,
it.
like, yeah, like recently, actually, the tour that we're about to go on, we were all wired, like guitar rigs wise, like we were just running wired. And now with the in-ears, we have a Sennheiser endorsement, so we finally got the wireless instrument stuff. So Sabrina's wireless, the two guitars are wireless. So essentially,
It
there's
makes
no
such a
cables on the.
difference.
It does, it really does. And there's so much more freedom just to run around stage and not have to think about I can now just walk over to like Kevin's side freely, and then I can just mosey over there and both of us go into a lead together. You know what I mean? And you're not
Nice.
like, oh, let me run over here and then turn my shit off and I'll run back to the other side of the stage and then trip over cables and also like, so really looking forward to that. I mean, the tour that we're about to do, the stages aren't super huge because it's our own tour and we're still a growing band. But like, if we ever
It
get the
makes a
shot to
difference.
do, yeah, it makes a huge difference. So like, for instance, the bigger stages that we'll play in Europe with Unleash the Archers, that's when personally, like Kevin and I are really going to see the difference because we're not, going 30 feet one way or another, you know what I mean, or 40 feet one way or another, just to run back to my position to change and then go back over there and like
Sure.
perform. You know what I mean? We can just
And
stay in a
that
spot,
was
work
one of the
all over.
things that I noticed with the show last night is like it honestly felt like a big local show.
Hmm.
Maybe it's because I knew so many people at the show, but when you're watching a band run between monitors up front to
Yeah.
try and get back to switching,
Oh yeah.
it's like it's when it makes me think of when I have to do it, and I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
oh, I know
No,
how
it
hard
was
that is,
actually,
guys. I'm sorry.
I've been chasing channel switches down for all my life. And honestly,
No,
it's just, and in the last 6 months, we've got, the whole set is programmed on the Reaper. Like, so we're using Reaper for all of our playback. So,
Kevin.
we're sending we're sending a MIDI signal out of Reaper into our interface that hits the back of the Axe effects, and that's programmed into every song. So every time like it's a big process. Actually, it's more in depth than people will even think or realize when you are a
Oh, it
track
is.
band. You know what I mean? So
It
it's
is
just
an
like you have to
absolute.
physically go and like pause it right when the switch is, program it real quick, and then make sure it works. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
then
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
but
My
but then the
band
work is done.
Overload does it, and I
Yeah.
definitely get it. But it is something about it is like once you get rolling with it and you get your idea of okay, this because obviously every venue is different. You're going to have a learning curve on every venue because the supplies will be in different places, etc. But it is so liberating, and it makes you feel like you've went from here to here as an artist when you're able to
Yeah.
hear everything with the in-ears. Oh my gosh, I say I'll never go back, but yet I play in a band that plays old school still. So
I'll never go back. I'll definitely never ever go back. So it's just,
it's
I
a
mean,
great experience.
yeah. Once you have
Now
the,
go ahead.
oh no, I was just saying, like, once you have the actual like in your rig and like you're getting the mix that makes you feel comfortable, it just
Yep,
makes you play better.
it does. It absolutely does. So, to stay away from like because obviously there are bands out there that play to tracks and play to a click that absolutely in my opinion don't handle it in the right way when something happens.
Hmm.
If something were to happen, do you have like are you all traveling with like a spare set of things like a laptop for example? Because obviously, the
Oh
falling in
yeah.
reverse thing has been a hot button issue lately where they've canceled multiple shows because their laptop crashed.
Yeah.
and
I
they
mean,
couldn't.
so basically, yeah, I mean, we can play a show. It's just not going to be the same because we're going to lose bass, and then we're
Sure,
going to lose harmonies. We're going to lose keyboards, and we're going to lose backing vocals. And I mean, at this point, I mean, again, I don't care. Like,
right.
I'm
But
keep.
you're
So the
still
band
gonna
has,
deliver, is what it
yeah,
is.
yeah. I mean, I will be like, I mean, if both of our laptops got run over, um, we would do the show, of course. We would be like, "Hey guys, we're very open about it. Like, we're gonna do the best that we can." You know what I mean? With the old school, because I mean, even back in the day, you know what I mean. We were running a metro. We always played to a click, even when we didn't have tracks.
Sure,
Um, so like, we would just like Keith would have like a metronome on his phone. You know what I mean? And he's just got something piped into his little mixer and stuff. But essentially, part of our job as a band is to be prepared for those situations. So we do have backups. So like the band has a MacBook Air that is just solely for that purpose, for the tracks. And like that's our streaming laptop and our tracks laptop. And then also my personal Mac that I'm talking to you on now, I have a backup on that for everything. So
sure.
yeah, I mean, essentially, like that's a really big oof to not have the laptops working. So like that's a huge priority for us to make sure that these are safe. And I mean, honestly, this is a member of our band. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
this is just the modern era, and that's what we choose to do. So we take the precaution to make sure that we have a proper show by having the tools that we need. I mean, the laptop is as important as the in-ears, you know what I mean, and as important as the guitars, and as important as the mics and stuff like that.
Hell yeah. So, before we get into the derailed segment, which is 5 random questions about you as a person, obviously starting 11/9 and going to 12/8, the North American tour, and then December 2nd all the way through. Oh wow. Uh, Hang on
I
a
think it's like
second.
February 12th through
February.
March. Yeah.
February. See, they got the dates backwards. They did the European dating. So February 12th through March the 2nd,
Yeah.
yeah, you're going to be on tour with Unleash the Archers over in Europe. Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to it. The closest show it looks like to me is actually going to be Reggie's in Chicago at the end of November. I will try to
Oh
make
yeah,
it
that'll
up
be
for
going.
that. It's a 5 hour trip, but hey, it's at the
Oh
end of
man.
the, it'll be a nice Christmas trip before Christmas.
Yeah. Stay the weekend, get some deep dish.
Oh, Rico Benny. Rico
Yeah.
Benny's in Chicago.
Yep.
Oh, Chef's Kiss, super awesome. It's inexpensive pizza, so good. And I don't say cheap
Yep.
because nothing is cheap. It's just inexpensive.
Right on.
Um, what does success look like for you?
Um, Success is basically, I mean, we've reached a little bit of that right now. I mean, the first goal with the band was to be able to survive without having to work our 9 to 5s. And then for me personally, it was to make music full time, regardless if it's my band or a combination of my band and then industry work, which is what I'm doing now. But is to essentially make our own way and not have to count on essentially a corporate job or something like that.
Sure.
So we've kind of hit that first goal, you know what I mean, and we have to maintain it. But at the same time, like true success is to be able to tour comfortably, like in say a bus, and to be able to pay our bills with higher expenses, essentially, and to obviously to change lives and give people something wonderful to listen to. Hopefully our music is used for a positive light in people's lives. But it's at the end of the day, it's a business. We're wanting this is our passion. Music is, but at the same time, it's to afford living just a solid, middle class living. We're not trying to
Sure.
be millionaires. You know what I mean? We don't need to
Yeah,
play arenas.
you're
Actually,
not,
it's
it'd be
funny. I'm
nice,
seeing,
but
yeah, it's funny because I'm seeing like Powerwolf in the arenas now. And honestly, like after seeing all of it and what's involved from the large club to the arena jump, like I would totally be fine never reaching like headliner arena status because it's just too much bullshit. Like I would much rather sell Reggie's out two nights. You know what I mean? Like we can make a killer living doing that kind of thing. You know what I mean? 5, 6, 7, 800 cap club. You know what I mean? Like you could sell 2 nights out of there or move to a bigger 2000 cap, sell a night out there. You can make a phenomenal living just doing like that big. So like we're not greedy. Of course, we're always going to make the steps to grow. And I hope by the time I'm 50 or 60, you know what I mean? Like we've constantly grown. It's just never, and especially working for bands and seeing bands kind of settle and kind of, not all of them, but, you know, some of them have the hard time of, you know, they're older and they're later in their life and they kind of feel that they've put their time in and then they should just be able to headline everywhere. But the right move is to go support a bigger band, even if you are old. So like, and to continue growing. And if you, that's the only way to stay afloat and to keep rising. And so like I'm chasing that perspective and bringing that perspective to the table pretty much until we can't even pick up an instrument anymore.
You know, that is an insanely articulate concept to say how the end goal should always be to support someone bigger, no matter how old you are.
Yeah. Because someone's always going to be bigger than you.
But I also think too that some of those bands that are the elder statesmen of the metal scene now, I think a lot of them are guilty of not taking out younger bands.
Yeah. Well,
it's
especially
there's
like
a big disconnect in some
mm-hmm.
scenes now where bands like, you know, like seeing a band like on that bill with King Diamond, Overkill, and Night Demon, that is a great bill. And that is a bill that is, to me, is a perfect bill. It puts, you know, an elder thrash band opening for, you know, King Diamond of all people, and then a newer band opening up for Overkill. And that's the way I think it should always be. It should always be like that. I agree with you.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's just one of those things where you know, a lot of the way that tours are structured now is, you know, a big headliner is going to want to find a special guest that is going to add a couple hundred to 1,000 people. You know what I mean? To raise it, because what happens is they get to raise their ticket price a little bit, and then they get to fill the place that they might not have filled up. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, if you got a small arena, it's like, oh, if we were by ourselves, it'd be 70 or 80%. You know, let's add someone that puts let's bring so-and-so that has a slightly different, you know, fan base. You know what I mean? And it's essentially a big headliner's way of crossing over and opening, but not opening for somebody. You know what I mean? So
sure. Yeah, and let's just say I think bands like Metallica don't necessarily need to take out bands like Pantera.
Yeah, they just did it because they're friends. I mean, it was a smart deal. I mean, because like it's the two bands that are, you know, talked about the most right now. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But you know, I mean, for instance, I thought it was cool that Metallica brought Epica at one of their shows. You know what I mean? That's some Epica.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that was a kind of a like, oh, like that's different. You know what I mean? They got a crack at it.
Obviously, they did bring out Bastardane and Otto, but I think that was also because they're a couple of the members have kids in those bands, but they're on the road and they're paying their dues right now too, just like you or I would have done. They're not, you know, they're playing places like the pub down the street kind of stuff, which is cool too. Aside from music, if you could make one of your hobbies into a profession, what would it be?
I'm doing it, honestly.
Right, with music.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I think I'm trying to think of other hobbies I have. I mean, I like lifting weights. I'm a big, like, I was big into like fitness, and it's slipped a little bit just because the touring has been so crazy and it's impossible to, like, you're just so tired. And at some point, like, you're just human and your willpower goes away on the road. You know what I mean? But like, you know, I've dabbled in the fitness industry a little bit. I mean, not really industry, but like I looked into like, you know, like personal trainer certification. I can have something always to just do on the side. But yeah, I've honestly, the music has taken over my life in every which way. So like now when I'm doing a hobby, I want it to stay a hobby, because then if it becomes work, you know what I mean? Like,
Becomes a pain in the ass.
yeah, I kind of like the for instance, like fishing. You know what I mean? I like to go fishing, like saltwater fishing. You know what I mean? So it's got this real like mystique. You know what I mean? I don't know anything about it. Like I got to go with somebody that knows more than me. You know what I mean? Serena and I recently got into disc golf because it's just so
Nice.
random and different. You know what I mean? So it's just like something we don't know. Yeah. So I mean, I would love to play more video games, but I legitimately don't have time to do it. You know what I mean?
I just
really,
started
like,
playing
yeah,
Breath of the Wild for the first time,
right on.
and it is like so overwhelming because of the open world. It's such a
Yeah,
big
I like the
world.
open world stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
it's
really waiting
so
for
wild.
I'm really waiting for the new Grand Theft Auto to come out actually, because it's based out of
Nice.
Florida. So it's
Nice.
just like,
Hell yeah.
ah,
So yeah,
yeah.
it makes you wonder if you're gonna the area, if they're actually
Oh
gonna take
yeah.
certain things from the area
Yeah, I know they
and
have
do it.
already. I followed it, so like really looking
Nice.
forward to finding some of those little spots.
Hell yeah. Dude, I love stuff like that, like where James O'Barr, who wrote and illustrated the original Crow, would put scenes from Detroit in the backgrounds of scenes with the characters.
Oh
And
yeah,
like
yeah.
you,
No, little
yeah, like
callbacks
you
like
would
that are
know,
important.
like he would draw like a street corner and then
Hmm.
draw the character into the frame, and it's just so cool to see stuff like
Yeah.
that. How would you explain your basic life philosophy?
Oh man, basic life philosophy. That's been a developing thing, and I think that it will continue to develop and change. Uh, uh, how would I sum that up? I mean, I don't really have one. I just try to. I mean, do unto others as you would have done unto you is a pretty solid statement. You know what I mean? Like,
Hell yeah.
I try to put myself in someone else's shoes. You know what I mean? Even if I'm happy, sad, angry, or mad. You know what I mean? So it's just, always have respect. I'm from the South, so it's just like, every time I answer somebody, yes sir, no ma'am, blah blah blah. My mom would smack me in the head if I wasn't polite. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, um, the yeah, just to mind your p's and q's. Work. Nothing's going to be given to you, and if it is, you're lucky. But at the same time, you must work with that. You know what I mean? So, like, even if you were given luck and given things, you know what I mean, that disappears without work. And so, having a discipline of work ethic, and being able to get through stress and constantly growing is something that I try to do in my own life. I'm not perfect at it, but I try to always move forward. You know what I mean? And then never settle. You know what I mean? For where you're at right now, it's like, yeah, everything is great, but there's better out there also.
Hell yeah. I totally get that. Last meal. Let's go lavish. Let's go. What would be your last meal? You get
Man.
your appetizer, your soup, your main course, and your dessert. What would you pick?
Well, the desserts would be something from Cheesecake Factory.
Ooh, I had
Yeah.
one a couple
Honestly,
of
I could
weeks ago
probably,
where
yeah.
I had one a couple of weeks ago where I picked a nice chocolate cheesecake with an espresso as my
I don't
dessert.
know. I
And
mean, man, that's really difficult. I think the meat portion of the dinner would be a chuletas can can. So the big
ooh,
deep fried pork chop from it's like, I think it's Puerto Rico based. The guy that does our music videos with us, Jimmy, he's from Puerto Rico, and he was the one that showed us this. But it's essentially like, it's like a really 3/4 or an inch thick cut of a pork chop with the bone in, but it's got the pork belly attached to it, and
oh
they deep fry
wow.
the whole thing. So yeah, it's
Why?
a really
I am
yeah,
43 years old. Why have I never heard of this?
yeah. Yeah, just go on Google. Just go on Google and search chuletas can can with a Kankan, and
uh,
you'll see that boy. So
while you're continuing your meal, I am gonna do this.
Yeah. Hold on one second.
Chuletas con. Oh my gosh, that is so amazing looking. And it's served with like saffron rice and beans. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that would be probably the the meat portion. I mean, honestly, I mean, man, I don't even know. That's a really loaded question. I would probably take like a week to actually solidify that down. But that
Oh
would
my
probably be the meat
gosh.
portion,
The
and it'll probably be
con, a meat mohawk of the highest caliber, it says.
the yeah, yeah. I mean, I would
You
be okay
win.
having the
I can't
I would
ask
be okay
anybody. You
having the
win
whole
now.
yeah. I mean, I would be okay with the trimmings on that too, because it would be like the tostones, which is like the fried plantains, like, and then
Oh yeah, it'd be like
yeah,
like a chicharron.
yeah, and then
Yeah, it's like a
basically
pork rind.
yeah, and then just yeah, the Oreo cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory, and
Dang,
then
so
yeah,
hell
I don't
yeah.
even know what the appetizer. I mean, because by the time I eat the meat and the cheesecake, I'd be pretty full.
Sure, I totally get it.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Dude, I
and a
have one
chili
more
Diet
question.
Coke.
And a Diet Coke?
Yeah, for sure.
It's got to be a fountain though, a fountain Coke, because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
taste different
freshly
than
mixed.
they do out of the can or the bottle.
Yeah, I prefer the can. The bottle sucks.
Yes. Now, if it were glass like back in the day, it would be okay, I think. But
Yeah,
yeah, plastic bottle,
yeah,
nope. That's why they don't put beer in plastic, is because it sucks.
yeah.
So,
No, for
uh,
sure.
I have one more question, but before we get to it, as always, links are listed below. So please give likes, shares, and follows. Go buy merch. Go see these awesome people on tour, whether you're here in the States or over in the UK. That's what we're here for today. We're pushing this new EP and everything else. Do you have any shout outs that you would like to give today, Camden?
No, I mean, shout out to you. Thank you for
Wow.
taking the time to give us the interview.
Of
Shout
course.
out to our new label, Raining Phoenix Music. They've done a phenomenal job on the EP so far, and we're really looking forward to releasing our full length next year with them. Shout out to our manager, Maurizio, and Hard Impact. I also work for
Yeah.
them, but we're also managed by Maurizio. So he's done a lot of
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
and for those who don't know, Maurizio was on the Metal Forge back in April. You
Mm.
Maurizio Iacono, correct?
Yeah. No, that's our
Which you would know
he's
from the band Cataclysm.
Cataclysm. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
so he's our
definitely a
manager.
friend of the Metal Forge.
Oh yeah, definitely. So him, Steph, our booking agent over here, Mike, our booking agent over in the over in Europe. And that's the team that we have right now. And then RPM, and then of course all our endorsements, Sennheiser, D Drum, Comparison, Bare Knuckle, and so on and so forth. We wouldn't be here without all those people. And we're just getting started. We were a crowdfunding band for a long time. You know what I mean? And we didn't have these big heavyweight industry people looking at us and behind us literally until about a year and a half ago. So
Nice.
essentially, we're just getting started with our our trajectory, I guess. You know what I mean? Now that we have the people starting to pay attention,
And that's
and
where it all starts, man.
that's where it starts. And I've been doing this. I mean, the band's been a band since 2007, and it's taken that long to just get to this point.
Yeah.
So, we really
So
appreciate all the people that are
17
behind us.
years now. You're about to
Yep.
celebrate a 20-year anniversary in a couple of years.
Yep.
And that's so wild to me that bands, the trajectories take so much longer now than they did 40 years ago.
Oh yeah. I mean, I mean, I don't even know what advice I would give to a person wanting to try to do this nowadays. You know what I mean? And even still, like that's different than when we started, which is different
Sure.
from when other people started. So it's just, you know, it takes a bit of that blind, uh, what's the word? Naivety, when you're just naive and you're just like,
Sure.
oh, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna
Blind
make
faith.
music. Yeah, it takes that kind of young blind faith to want to do it and stick to it. And
Sure.
then, then you get
And
to a
then you
point where it's
become
like,
institutionalized.
yeah, you become like, you get to a point where it's like you've spent so much time and money, you either have a choice to quit or to see it through. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And the point is to see it through. No matter how long it takes, it will come. So
Sure.
that's the philosophy we've always had, and that's what's gotten us to this point.
It's like, have you ever heard of sunk cost fallacy?
Yeah.
Sunk cost fallacy is the concept to where you've put so much money and time into the project that you know that it's either see it through or quit completely.
Yeah. And then
you
how
know,
are you
you
going to
have
feel
nothing to
when
do
you're
but see it through.
yeah. And then if you quit, how's that going to make you feel when you're 70, 80, 90, 100 years old, about to die? You know what I mean? You're just going
Sure.
to be a quitter at that point.
Exactly.
Not,
So my
not
final
going to be that
question
guy.
of the day is kind of a loose little fun question. Gender aside, would you rather be Sigourney Weaver in Alien or Arnold in Predator?
Oh, definitely Arnold and Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so I could do that's the movie with Dylan, right?
Yeah. Dylan.
Yeah. I would do that just
Yes.
so that was my arm in that one little gift that everybody uses.
Hell yes. I totally
Yeah.
get it. And honestly, you know, the Ripley character, she gets like screwed over completely because like not
Yeah.
only is she the last one to survive her ship, but she wakes up from cryosleep 57 years in the future and then
Yeah.
crash lands on a prison planet and
Yeah.
then like his clone 200 years later. Come on.
Yeah.
You talk about being screwed over by the system, man.
Yeah. That's
They
really
wouldn't
crazy.
even let her die. They had to bring her back.
Yep. No, it's funny because Windrose's front of house is like a rabid Alien fan. So like I've been kind of like I haven't I followed it a little like enough to know, but like Karatzi like he really is like oh like alien. So like I've started
Hell
to get a little bit of
yes.
my alien lore intact this tour.
Hell yeah. That sounds awesome. Dude, Camden, thank you so much for coming to the Metal Forge this week. This has been awesome. On our way out today from the square, what do you want to play?
When is this coming out?
Oh, good Lord. You would ask that.
I just don't want to. I'm going to ask to play something that's not released yet. So, and
That's
if it's
fine. It'll be a couple of weeks at least.
okay, yeah, because it comes out November 8th, I think.
It'll be after that.
Okay, yeah, let's do Wilted Pieces because that's my favorite one off the record.
Awesome. You heard him. This is
Yeah.
Wilted Pieces from Seven Kingdoms. Yeah. For 45 years in keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense, and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They are open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week, located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at electricladyland420.com. Roll out. Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattoondpiercing@gmail.com, and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing. Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing, or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases, or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza Donisi. Pizza Donisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken? Fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the ultimate underground metal tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza Donisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson, and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza Donisi at 1398 South 2nd Street, open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shade Beast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shade Beast Presents concert series. Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shade Beast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The Sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine! An independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now. Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Set back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. to distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.